Ha! Hey everyone, Hassan here. Welcome to the world of Ha. Today, I got a special video for you. This is my review of the Apple Watch. This is the 42mm, the stainless steel version with Milanese loop. So this is it right here. I did an unboxing and setup video for you, so you can check that out. I'll put the link in the description box below. But this is my full review where I'll show you all the features, my impressions on everything. I've had it for a couple of days. It came out on Friday. I'm recording this on Wednesday, so I've had a couple of days to be able to try this out and see what I think. So first things first, I'm actually going to take this off and just show you, the product itself. So, just give you an idea of the actual, the band and everything else here. So this is, the size of it, as you've kind of probably seen in my unboxing video, if you saw that. It's, pretty decent size. This is the 42mm version as well. It has a nice weight to it, and it definitely feels like pretty good quality. I definitely do like that. The Milanese loop is very interesting. It is magnetic, so you can adjust it, however much you want, and then it's got this little magnetic clasp that just kind of goes on there. But it's a nice strong magnet. Like, you really like pulling on it, you gotta tug. Like, even I'm pulling hard, and it took a while to get it off. So really, you kind of have to just stick your finger in there and peel it off. So it's pretty tough, and it's not something that like anybody could easily steal anyways, because even if they try to do that, they have to slip this out over your hand. So that's really just not feasible. Yeah, I mean, here's the Milanese loop, and it's pretty nice. I'm actually going to detach one of the sides here. So there's a little button right here, and if you hold your fingernail or something in there, then you can slide out the piece like that. And these bands are interchangeable, and you can get different bands, but I wanted to do that so I can just kind of give you an up-close look at the actual device here. So I'll go through all the screens and stuff in a second. I took it off my hand, so what that does is it auto locks it. The sensors in the back know when it's not attached to your arm, and so it locks the device. So if anybody tries to steal it, they can't get in without using the passcode, basically. And in order to wipe it clean or anything, you need the iPhone that it's synced up to. And so pretty much if somebody were to steal this, it would be a waste to them because they couldn't do anything with it. So the Apple Watch does go hand in hand with the Apple Watch companion app. So there's the app right there. So when you click on it, there's all sorts of settings here. So I'm not going to go through all the settings, but I will show you that in a little while, and as far as like how it syncs up and stuff, but I just wanted to mention that. So yeah, I mean, the screen is very nice quality, has a nice feel to it. The stainless steel bits here look great. So you do have like the side button right here, and then you have the oh gosh, I'm blanking on the name of it. The digital, no, that's the digital crown. That's what it is, I think. And so you can push it. It's a button that you can push on, but you can also rotate it, and it feels very nice. I actually really do like looking at this. If I get a notification, I can just quickly scroll and view the rest of it. Now I can, swipe and do that with my finger, but it's much easier to just use this to rotate a lot. So that's actually very handy. On the back here, kind of zoom in and you'll see, so this does say Apple Watch, 42mm case. So you will get fingerprints and stuff all over it, but it's still pretty good quality, I'd say, pretty durable. Stainless steel, sapphire crystal, ceramic back, all that fun stuff. So these are the heart rate sensors right here, and yeah, it's pretty cool. So just kind of wanted to show you just the back of the device and everything there. Now let me reattach the band. So to do this, you just kind of align it back up. So let me do that here, and then it just slides right in. And then it should click into place. There we go. You just got to slide it in right. So now it's clicked into place, just like that. So let me put this on here. Gonna pull this over my hand, and you can kind of adjust it however you want. Now for somebody, if you're wondering the comfort of the Milanese loop, so as you can tell, my arm is very hairy. So one thing that I was worried about is if this would really catch the arm hairs. That's why I didn't get the link bracelet, because I was afraid that it would catch the arm hairs. overall, this thing is actually pretty fine. It doesn't catch any of the arm hairs. Now, if you wear it loose and it moves around a little bit, you might get that, you know, you might get it in there a little bit. Or if you're constantly readjusting the straps, one thing I found is sometimes when I'm readjusting it, some of my hair will get underneath the actual magnet, so then when it moves, that's when it catches it. So if you're wearing it loose and you're kind of adjusting the straps, then it might catch your hair a little bit. But other than that, I mean, if you wear it, you know, with a nice tight fit, it really doesn't have a problem catching my hair or anything, because it's not going to move around, so it's not going to do anything. So it's actually pretty handy. So yeah, so there's that. So anyways, let's try and get in here. So I'm going to touch this and I'm going to enter in the passcode. I changed it for the purposes of this video. So for right now, I just set it to 1234 and then I'm in. And now I don't have to enter my passcode anymore. So if I try to get in now, you know, it'll let me get in without putting in a passcode. So that's another thing, by the way. So the screen, in order to save battery, if you kind of rotate your arm like away, like you're looking away from it, the screen turns off. But when you rotate it towards you, it turns on. The other thing is if you're, you know, you get a call, notification, if you're in the middle of something, if you cover your hand over it, it just, it makes the screen, you know, whoops, I've got to do it for a little longer, I think. It just turns off the display there, which, you know, right now it doesn't really make a difference, but if you were getting a notification, you could easily mute it, which is pretty handy. The screen turning thing works pretty well, actually. The only cases where it doesn't work super well is if I just kind of want to glance at it a little bit, like if my arm is like this and I just kind of want to glance. I mean, right now it's kind of working, but every now and then you get it, you know, if you're just kind of just turning it a little bit and looking from a distance, it might not work perfectly. So the other thing that you can do is you just tap the screen and then it, oops, there you go, it turns on. Sometimes it does take a second when you tap it, but if you're just doing the wrist thing, it's pretty instant, and it works pretty well most of the time. Battery life is another thing that people have been asking about, and I've had no problems at all with the battery. It's actually pretty nice. There's a notification right there. I'll just dismiss that, but the thing about the battery is I don't have a problem charging my devices every day. I charge my phone every day. In fact, I charge my phone while I'm in the car all the time, so I pretty much never run out of battery on my phone. And my Pebble I used to charge every night. I have no problem charging stuff every night. The Apple Watch actually has a really nice battery. I can say that one day I woke up at 8 a.m. and, you know, 100% charge, you know, I got my watch on, and then normal usage throughout the day, getting notifications, kind of playing around with it a bit too, and you know, normal usage. And by the end of the day at midnight, it's still at 31% battery. So, I mean, it's pretty good battery. And the other day, you know, I was doing a workout, so I had it, you know, I turned on a workout, and so it really uses a lot more battery. No issues at all. So battery life for me has been great. I've had no issues with the battery life at all here. So the main thing about the Apple Watch, before I kind of get into all the features, I want to show you again the app here. So a lot of the settings are controlled via the iPhone app for the Apple Watch. So you can actually even go to featured and it'll take you to like an app store, and you can basically go and search for different apps that you can download. Now the apps are actually iPhone apps that have an Apple Watch app too. So you can set it so right now I have it set so when I download an iPhone app, if it has an Apple Watch app, it will, you know, download it to the Apple Watch as well. So you do have that option right there. So I'm going to go back to my watch here. So for example, let's say I wanted to make a change about something, right? When I take a look at the glances, so right now, the glances, so I'm going to go back to the watch face, and I'll show you the glances in a second, but I have it ordered where I have like the settings, now playing, and then heart rate. So what if I wanted now playing first? So I go to the Apple Watch and I can just move, actually no, I said I wanted now playing first, right? So I'll move now playing right here, and then settings, and then heartbeat. So when I go to the watch, it's already made that change. Now playing, the settings, heart rate. So it very quickly adjusts the settings. I have no issue with, you know, syncing it is like instant basically, which is very nice. If I download a new app, it will download to the iPhone, and then for, you know, a couple seconds or so, it'll be listed in here, and if I open it up, like if I downloaded, you know, one of the apps here, it would say installing, and then after a couple seconds, it would be there, it would show up on my watch, boom, done. So very handy. And from here, you know, I can pick different settings. I can pick certain notifications, and and choose, to what extent, with email, do I want to mirror my iPhone? Do I want to include all the mail or certain inboxes? So I can basically pick and choose how I want to adjust what appears on the Apple Watch, which is actually really nice. There's a lot of settings there, even down to the extent of these third-party apps, like the Skype app, for example. I don't want it on my Apple Watch app because it only is used for the IMing part of Skype, so it's not really very useful to me, so I turn that off. But if I ever want it, I just turn it on, and it will install it onto the Apple Watch, which, I can show that too in a little bit if anybody wants. So anyways, back to the Apple Watch. So this video, by the way, I'm going to go in detail on a lot of things, so it's going to be a long video. So with the watch faces, I have my setting to automatically go to the watch face right here when I turn it on. There's many different types of watch faces, and from the watch face, if I swipe down, I view my notifications, basically. So there's different notifications here, and if I wanted to clear one of these, I can swipe to the left and hit clear, or if I force touch it, I can clear all if I wanted. So very handy. And of course, as soon as you get it, it'll buzz on your phone, and you'll see that there. If I swipe up from the bottom, that's where you get your glances. So there's a settings glance, and I have mine set to mute. I'm going to unmute it in case it goes off. You'll hear the sound effect. You have your do not disturb, airplane mode, and you can ping your iPhone as well. So if I want to know where my iPhone was, I just push that, and my iPhone starts playing a sound. So pretty handy, if you can't remember where your phone is in the house, you can just ping it real quick from your watch. There's a now playing option here, so with this glance, I can hit play, although I don't think I have a song. It's really to control your iPhone. You can sync music to the Apple Watch and play directly from here, but I don't want to do that because it uses more battery. So let's say Tori Kelly, Nobody Love, right? Let's play that song right here. So it's playing, and so basically I can just go here and I can pause it, I can adjust the volume right here, etc. I don't want to play too much because I don't want YouTube to flag the video or something, but it's pretty handy to do, so in case you wanted to get a little bit of control over that. Swipe over, it'll do your heart rate every however many minutes. I don't know how long it does that, every few minutes or so, but if you want to manually do it, you can just go to the glance here and it will manually measure the heart rate right now. So it takes a little while, but as you'll see, it will calculate the heart rate, and it syncs over to the health app on the iPhone as well. So I don't know how accurate this stuff is, but there it is right there. Then you have your activity one right here. So it tells you, in terms of moving around, how many times you've stood up every hour, you're exercising and stuff for the day. So it's based on daily goals that you can set right here. You have your battery life here, and you can enter directly into power reserve mode. Your calendar, if you had any events right here. It gives you like the weather and stuff here as well. Every now and then I may block things out on the video, by the way, because I'm just trying to, I don't need you guys to see everything. Stock, I did have Nintendo stock. I actually sold it, but here's my, you can check stock real quick. Maps, so I'm going to block this out anyways because I don't want you to see my current location, but it'll show you your current location. And then I have a third-party app that I put here, Deliveries, and it will sync up and show you what deliveries are coming today. So these are just glances. So add a glance and it will remember where you were. So you can just, if I wanted to leave it on the weather one, and then if I want to bring it up, I just swipe up and there's the weather right there. So it's pretty handy to have. Now the actual watch face you can customize too. So I'm gonna force touch, which means you don't just hold your finger on it a long time, you really push into the Apple Watch and it brings up this screen here. And there's different watch faces. So there's utility, modular, simple, motion. I'll just kind of go through a couple of these. Let me pull up motion right here. And when you click on it, different ones here, like this one's got like this little jellyfish one. There's actually different versions of it. You can customize it. There's like a butterfly, a flower, and this one's kind of cool because if I wanted to pull it up again, it shows me like a different view. So every time you look at it, it's kind of different. And it looks pretty cool. There's also the astronomy one. So it shows you kind of the current, phase of the Earth at this time. And then I can click on the moon, and it will jump me over to the moon phase right there, which is pretty handy. And I can click on this corner here and look at the alignment of all the planets, which is pretty neat too. So let's click on the Earth again and bring us back there. Oops, right here. And then I got a notification right there, so it's kind of in case you're wondering. It makes a little ding, and I'm getting a whole bunch of notifications, so that's why it's trying to catch up to that. The other thing you can do is you can use a digital crown and go forward, you know, an hour or something, and look at it, go back, and so that's kind of neat as well. Then there's also there's a couple different ones. The solar one's pretty neat too. So it shows you kind of like the position of the sun relative to the day here, and I can use the digital crown and move it forward or back. So it's pretty cool. So yeah, there's a couple of different ones. Chronograph. I like the Mickey Mouse one. It's pretty cool, and it looks really nice, like the Mickey, you know, moving his foot and everything. It's just, it's a little harder to tell the time, so I don't really use that generally, but it's still pretty cool. There's extra large. And you can, of course, make your own new ones. Now, the new ones are based off of the existing one. So if there's one, like a Mickey Mouse one, and you wanted to customize it, you can build a second one and have 2 different versions of the Mickey Mouse one if you wanted to, which is kind of nice. But the other thing that you can do, you know, like for example, I'm going to go to the modular. You can customize these. So different ones, you can customize different parts of it. So this watch face here, you can customize the color and the things that are a part of it. So when it comes to color, you can use the digital crown and circle through, you know, what color you would want there. So let's just do, you know, white, for example. So I'll swipe over, and maybe instead of the activity thing here, I want to put an alarm, you know, so you can click on what part you want, and you can adjust it and do that there, and then you just push the digital crown and it saves it. So what I did for utility, if I customize it, some of them, like this one, if I roll the digital crown, it'll take away all the detail, or maybe I want a little bit of detail, a little bit more, or I can go all the way and have full detail for the actual clock, you know, or the color I can adjust. I can pick different pieces here, so I turned off the middle piece there, but I have the temperature, and I have the battery life of the Apple Watch, the battery, and then like the date right there. So that's kind of the setting that I currently have, and I think it looks pretty nice. So the red dot, by the way, means that there's a notification. So that just tells you, you know, if you missed a notification or you already checked it but you didn't dismiss it, then you can go back and look at it there, which is pretty handy. Now, when it comes to the buttons on the side, pushing the digital crown will take you to your apps, and then you can move around, and you can use the digital crown to zoom. So if I wanted to go here, I can, you know, zoom in a little bit, or I can even zoom out completely and see all the apps that I have there. So that's pretty handy. The other thing that you can do is I can double tap, and it will take me to the last app that I had, the calendar. I can double tap again, takes me right back, and I can hold it down, and I can check on things as well. So let's say I want to check the weather. So I'm going to hold it down. What's the weather like right now? So it pulls up the weather right there. So unlike Siri on your phone, it does not talk, but it does do that. And you can actually, while your iPhone is awake, it might be hard because my face is not next to it, but hey Siri, what's the weather like right now? So you see it works right there. So I'll turn that off. But so as long as it's awake, if it's not awake, you know, if my arm is like, you know, if it's got a black screen, it's not going to catch it because you don't want it randomly picking up sounds. But if it's awake, if I'm looking at the Apple Watch, I can say, hey Siri, and do that, which is definitely pretty handy to have. So it actually works really nicely. You also have the side button right here. So if I push it, it takes me to like the contacts right here. And so I have a lot of my favorites right here, and you can scroll and you can do that. And if I click on a contact, I can, oops, I don't mean to call. You can call or send a text basically, and you can do that. In fact, I'm going to actually jump over to home, and I'm going to test this out. I'm going to call the house so you can see what it looks like here. So let's do a call. So let's see how this goes. So from here, I can mute it, I can do this. I can actually pick up my iPhone and continue the call from there if I wanted to. Let's see if anybody answers. Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing a video showing the Apple Watch, so I was trying to test out the calls. So, say hi.
Okay, hey, I made a smoothie. Hurry up and come get it. I just made it.
All right, okay, bye.
Goodbye.
Smoothies, ooh. So anyways, that was my mom. So yeah, it's pretty handy. I mean, you can just quickly make a call right there. And I actually got interviewed by the San Jose Mercury News, and I answered the interviewer via my Apple Watch, and I did the interview via the Apple Watch, which was actually really cool. They interviewed me about the Apple Watch, which is pretty neat. And I can put that article in the description box below too. Then I can double tap, and it will actually do bring up passbooks. I'm going to block out the credit card thing, but even though you really don't see much. And then once it's there, you literally would just hold your wrist, ding, and then you would have paid. And it's that easy. So it's very handy to do for sure. So I actually did that at a vending machine on my college campus. I bought something with my Apple Watch, and it was so quick and easy, so awesome, so really neat. Let's push the digital crown and go into the apps right here. This screen is very nice because it's very fluid. It's really nice. I know a lot of people said it, you know, how are you supposed to click on the apps? They're kind of small. I mean, you can zoom a little bit, but really, the important thing about it is that, like, I mean, it's actually pretty responsive to where I click. Right now, it might be a little hard because I got a camera in front of my face, but generally speaking, you know, I can easily click on things and pull it up. So I got a mix of built-in apps and third-party apps in here as well. I'm not going to show everything, but just to give you an idea, you know, for example, weather will give me the full weather versus the glance just gives you a little picture of it. And if you click on the glance, it'll actually take you to the full app. But what's nice about here is I can click on it and view the temperature, percent chance of rain, you know, how it is. I can look at the 10-day forecast as well. So it's pretty handy. And then I can push the digital crown and exit out right there. With Twitter, you know, I can click on that. And this is a third-party app, so it does take a little bit longer to load, but not too bad, really. I can look at my timeline, top trends, and if I force touch, I'll get an option to tweet. So let's do that. So I can do a certain hashtag. I can use an emoji or use the dictation. Hey, Twitter, comma, this is a tweet from my Apple Watch, period. Period. There you go. Oops. I kept talking. All right, I'm going to cancel that. I should have hit done after I kept talking. But basically, you know, that's you know how you would send it, and it's pretty responsive. It's pretty good. There's a camera app which is actually really neat. So I'm going to have my iPhone sitting right there, and here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go into the camera app. So this basically, there's no camera on here, but it will pull up the camera here. It says camera app was closed, and it automatically opens it up. Hey everyone, so you can see my setup for my cameras and everything. And what you can do is I can see a preview of it right here. As you can see, it's a live preview. I can just take a picture right away or do a little timer. So I click the timer, so smile. And it took a picture right there, which is pretty nice. It does like a 10 burst thing, and then you can pick your favorites and everything like that. So let's actually just close out of it there. And then it actually closes the camera app right there. So it's actually very handy. I really do like that. It's actually a very nice app to have, and it's built in. It's one of the ones that Apple has just to do a camera. And that's the type of thing that I see so much potential in. Like, there's a lot of cool things like that they can really do with the Apple Watch. You know, as far as other built-in things, there's email, and you can send new email, you know, the phone, stopwatch, all that fun stuff. Here's the activity app right here. So you can basically go in, so move, you set a calorie goal, tell you how many calories per day, and you know, strive to achieve that. When you scroll up, you'll see the breakdown by day. Oops. So you'll see the breakdown by day right there. You know, exercise, so it actually calculates what it considers, you know, excuse me, I just burped right there, actual exercise. Or standing is like how many hours in the day, like you stood for at least a minute. So 6 separate hours in the day, I stood for at least a minute. So your goal is to do that, you know, 12 times. So there's that. So let's exit out of there. You know, the workout app, you can pick and you know, pick a certain workout here. And let's say I want to do outdoor cycling. I click on that, and I can set a calorie goal. I can just set a time, a certain number of miles, or just an open no goal thing. And when you start it, what it does is, you know, the heart rate sensor typically only works once, you know, every few minutes or so. But here it'll constantly be running. So it uses more battery, but then it gives you more stats for your activity tracking and everything, which is pretty handy. You know, there's a couple other things here, Passbook, so you can pull up stuff there. I actually, the other day, I saw Fast and Furious 7, so via the, Oh, I just dismissed the notification just like that. Pretty cool. So the other day, I bought a ticket via Fandango, the Fandango app on my iPhone, and I saved the ticket to Passbook, so I was able to pull it up on here on my Apple Watch, and I went to the movie theater, I slid my arm under there, ding, they got me in, done. Very quick and easy, very nice to have. There's a photos album here too, and you can basically sync a certain album from your phone, so I just picked my favorites album, and you can like, you know, zoom in and zoom out, things like that. So if I kind of just go in here, you know, so here's one of the photos I put together of Pentatonics the other day. So I can just kind of zoom in and then pan around, or I can just zoom out completely if I wanted to. So pretty handy there. Not sure that I would really use that much, but it's kind of neat. There's a couple other things. You know, remote is pretty handy. So this is what I used to control Apple TV the other day, or you can control iTunes, your library, and it's actually very easy to use. So it's pretty cool. So I'll close out of there. There are some settings in here. So, you know, the full settings are on the Apple Watch app here, but you do have some settings here that you can do as well. Airplane mode, Bluetooth, different things here, your passcode. So there's some stuff that you can change via the Apple Watch here as well. Like I said, there's other third-party apps too. So there's certain ones like CNN, you know, will bring you like a recent like top headlines, for example. So let's see how long it takes to load this one. Not too bad. There's a bit of a wait for some of the third-party ones, but you know, not too bad. And you can scroll through with the digital crown, which is very nice. And then, you know, push in right there. Other third-party apps, there's this one from it's called CalcBot, and it's actually pretty handy because there's a little calculator. There's a tip calculator too, which is pretty nice. So that can be pretty handy there. Yeah, I mean, there's just a bunch of different things. Shazam is actually pretty nice too because I can do Shazam, and what it will do is once I Shazam a song, it'll pull it up, and I can actually pull up the lyrics too if I wanted to. So very easily, I'm listening to a song, I can just Shazam it, pull up the lyrics, and sing along if I wanted to, which is actually very convenient. So these are the types of things where I see so much potential, and I think it's really cool to have. So I'm definitely excited about just all of the apps that are here and what's to come in the future as well. And we can click on the watch face and go back there. So I think that pretty much covers a lot of the extent of the apps. I know this is kind of a long video, but I want to show in detail all the stuff that this can do currently, and it's only going to get better as more and more apps are released. Personally, I really do like it. I think it looks nice, it feels nice, the Milanese loop. There's a lot of cool functionality. A smartwatch is not for everybody. That's the thing you got to understand. You know, like if you don't really use your smartphone that much, there's no reason to get a smartwatch. Honestly, there really is not. But if you are somebody that really uses like your smartphone, like your iPhone all the time, and for me, I get notifications for everything. Like I even turn on like notifications for people favorite or retweet my stuff, which can be a little much sometimes, but that's what I do. So this helps me manage those notifications, and it's really nice to have. And it works much better than other ones like the Pebble, because the Pebble's not a first-party watch. It's not fully integrated. So a lot of times, you know, with Pebble, I got notifications on both my phone and my watch. Now, if I dismissed it on the watch, you know, dismiss it on the phone, which is great, but still, with the Apple Watch, if I'm using my phone, you're right, if I actually have it open and I'm using it, then there's no reason for my watch to start dinging, where the Pebble it would. And vice versa. If I'm on my watch, I want to get the notifications, you know, if I'm not using my phone, rather, I want to get notifications on the watch. So that seamless integration is great. And the other thing that's really cool is, let's say, you know, I'm in the, let's just say Instagram, for example. I pull up Instagram right here. Instagram, the app actually gives you feed and activity. So if I want to do more, the feed only shows the last few photos, not much. But if I want to do more, when I open the phone with handoff, there's the Instagram app, and I can just swipe up. I'll just use Apple Touch, or not Apple Touch, Touch ID, and I'm right in Instagram. So I can easily, using handoff, pick up what I'm doing on the Apple Watch on the iPhone, which is great. So again, it's that seamless integration is what I really like about it. There's really not many cons to this. I mean, the Apple Watch does everything like that I was thinking it would, because I set my expectations to be realistic. You know, it's not going to be a life changer. This type of thing. The Apple Watch is not for everybody, but I do think that if you're looking for a smartwatch, it's a really nice smartwatch. It's really cool. It does a lot of great things, and I only see potential for more. Just you know, the camera app and all the other things that were there. I mean, there's so much potential for even more stuff that they could even make, and so far I'm really liking it. So, oops, sorry, I think it turned off after a certain point. But basically, what I was saying is, you know, I get all sorts of notifications, and it's very easy to kind of manage things more efficiently with the Apple Watch now, and it looks really nice, it feels nice, and it's really cool. This was a graduation gift from my parents to me, so so it definitely was a good gift, so I thank my parents for that, and I'm excited about it. So there's that. I hope that answered your questions, but, you know, I tried to cover a lot. It's a long video, like a half hour or so, so I hope, you know, you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any other questions, post them in the comments below, and I'd be happy to answer them for you. But that is the Apple Watch. So I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys later. I hope you guys enjoyed my review of the Apple Watch. Like I said, I really do like this thing, and it's really cool. It just looks really stylish too, you know. Definitely, yeah, pretty nice to wear, and pretty comfortable, and pretty cool. So I kind of want to show you guys this little angle too of what it looks like on my arm here. But yeah, there's that. So I'm going to put a link to my unboxing and setup video in the description box below, as well as the San Jose Mercury News interviewed me about the Apple Watch. We did a little phone interview. I talked on the Apple Watch and then did that as well. So I thought it was pretty cool because, first of all, this was a graduation gift from my parents, and our graduation commencement speaker is Tim Cook, the CEO of Apple, so it could not be any more perfect, and they actually mentioned that in the article too, so you can check that out. So those things will be in the description box below. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys later.